my friend, you've poured your heart and soul into everyone and everything around you. You've been nurturing your family and babysitting and working overtime, shopping for your in-laws. You know all you've put in, and you've often neglected your own needs in the process. But at this point in our lives, isn't there just a little, maybe resentment simmering? Do you feel taken for granted? I don't know about you, but when I hit midlife, I was a little lonely, longing for touch and connection. I mean, after all the heart you've poured into everything, sometimes it just didn't seem fair to me. And that dissatisfaction you may feel within the confines of your seemingly perfect life is a manifestation of imbalance. And it is time to tip those scales. It's time to prioritize your own well being and to start living and loving life on your terms. I had my, come to Jesus moment when I turned 60. A couple of years of intense hot flashes and hormonal roller coaster rides and, oh, the sleepless nights, man, mangled my life into a sweaty puddle of angst. And I know it had been years building up. There were some unhealthy family dynamics, a lack of focus in my work, financial stuff, health concerns. I always thought like I could hold it together because, I did yoga. So maybe you're like just done, tired of being tired, worried about what getting older is going to mean. And I get it, I'm there. And that's why it's just so great that we have Denise Drinkwalter guesting today on the Midlife Reset Podcast. This is episode number 29. I'm your host, Cheryl Gordon, and I help women 50 plus with joint pain and menopause symptoms. I help them stay strong, sleep well, and feel lighter with science-backed, safe yoga therapy. And I really want to extend a very warm welcome to you, Denise. I'm just thrilled that you are here.
Oh, it's such an honor and a privilege to be here with you today. Thank you, Cheryl.
And the essence of that intro was pulled mostly from your website, Denise. Maybe you recognize some of it. But I so resonated with the sentiment, and I'm sure our listeners get it too.
Yeah.
What was your come to Jesus moment?
Oh, which one? They're still happening. I don't think, Cheryl, there's a finish line because I believe in my heart of hearts. Once I hit the finish line, that's when I'm going to take my last breath. I see living every single day as opportunity for the lens of curiosity. When life pushes back, when I slow down, and that's when I think my come to Jesus moment was when I realized it was time to give back to me and I was going to put on some running shoes. Anybody who knows me, I don't run. This is not what I do, but I thought, you know what? I see other people doing it. I'm going to give it a try. So I did. And as I started to do the running and learning about my body, what it can and can't do, and getting out of my head and into my body, things shifted. Not only for me, but for those around me. And that's when the curtain I had been hiding behind came down and
So, was it the
everything.
running then that really was the impetus for you?
It really was
Awesome.
because I was doing that for me, by me, because of me. Nobody else was needed for it to occur. So it was only me. I didn't need to ask permission, right? It was
Mhm.
just my time. And so when I started doing it, I learned so much about myself. And the interesting part was things that were getting mirrored back to me enlightened me.
Really?
Biggest piece that really shifted me was 7 years ago. I signed up for a 10K race, never really racing or running, like I said. So, okay, I have a
Wow.
goal. I'm training, I'm doing all the stuff. And it was an early morning start in Niagara, 2.5 hour drive from our house. My daughter, son in law, and grandson show up,
Oh,
to my total surprise and shock. So the first thing was, this is out of context. Am I hallucinating? I think I see my son-in-law with a stroller and my daughter. Wait a minute. And then it hit me. Oh my gosh, they're here to support me in this race. And I almost started crying and I held myself together and I said, "What are you doing here? Like this is out of context." And my son-in-law said, "We wouldn't miss this for the world because we want to show our grandson what can happen when you do things that you never thought you could possibly do."
oh,
Well,
that's amazing. Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Full circle moment. I have to share this with you. The grandson that came to that first race,
Yeah.
he's running in the Niagara Falls race with me this October in the 5K,
Oh, that's amazing. So the lesson
right?
really did stick.
Right. It
Yeah.
just, it just, my heart is just blooming and blossoming with art because I'm training with them. We're doing our stuff together. We're
Awesome.
getting ready for the race. And I look back today, I was looking through pictures, and there he is, the
Oh,
little guy
yeah.
after my race in my arms. And I'm showing him my little medal. And this fall, he gets his own medal, right?
Yeah. So you went through this kind of transformational process. This was post-retirement, right, Denise?
It was actually just before retirement I started running, and this race was just after. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So it's a big shift. And
Yeah.
so now you're even, as you say, it never really stops the evolving and the changing.
Yeah.
Now you're a life coach for women like you who want to
Yeah.
make that kind of transition, right?
Yeah. I find that we get stuck, right? We get
Mhm.
stuck in all the stuff. And what happens is, like you shared in your intro, I'm going to be fine. I'm going to be fine. I just keep going. Just keep going. I do the yoga, I do the thing, but there's something missing. There's something still inside of you and you just kind of, "No, I'm fine. Look, I've got everything I need." What I am here to do is to help women experience full sovereignty. It is
Wow,
time
that's a
to
powerful
stop.
word, sovereignty.
Time to stop dimming the light.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so if someone's never really heard about life coaching before,
Right.
I want to share a little bit in a minute about
Yeah.
my experience with life coaches, but can you give us just a quick little like rundown of this is what a life coach can do for you?
Yeah. I've had this experience with various clients, and many of my clients see and have seen, or in the past or currently or both, support from other certified therapists, counselors, psychologists, psychiatrists, had people who've had all of those in their corner and there was still something missing. And a life coach supports you in your journey into action through the what I do is through the mirroring of what I see that you can't see. And so I help you bring that to the forefront and action, whatever that might be for you. It might not be a specific out, output, it might be internal, it might be ways that you see things that I can, as I listen to you and as I read your energy, I put the pieces together. And one of my main gifts is to question so deeply in such a way that, just like you said, oh my gosh, that's a powerful word, sovereignty.
Hmm.
Yes, that's the level of connection that I'm able to bring in in women's lives. Yeah.
And I think you made an important point there, and as opposed to maybe other helping modalities we could go to, for example, a psychotherapist, it's very action oriented when you go to a life coach. You don't spend a lot of time talking about the past, do you?
No. The For me and my clients, that only purpose for bringing something up in that realm is because it's important at that point in that time in the conversation. It's not to fix anything. Nothing is broken. Nothing is wrong. It's
There's no
just
diagnoses,
not at all. No,
no labels.
no,
Yeah.
not at all. And I don't run through the label machine,
Mm.
right?
Mm-hmm.
It's not, I mean, my former educational years, labels had a purpose, but I didn't see the children as having that. I saw that as a possible explanation, but it's not a reason or an excuse why I do what I do,
Yeah.
right? So we
Yeah.
pull the layers back very differently. Yeah.
So my first experience with a life coach was during COVID.
Mm-hmm.
And it was actually a colleague who was getting some life coaching credentials at that time. And they have to do, for your certification, you have to do so many pro bono kind of things, kind of an
Sure.
internship.
Mm-hmm.
I guess. And so we had to do things via Zoom because it was during the shutdowns. And I had a family situation, as so many of us do. And I was going to, take charge and do this and do that. And through the careful questioning that you mentioned, very quietly and very calmly, my colleague really helped me to understand that taking, in my own mind, figure it out, think through the action, that probably it would have unintended consequences. And I chose with their support of asking those questions, a different way
Right.
to set the boundaries that needed to be done that was much more peaceful. So I think back 5 years, that's how long it's been. And I think how different my family situation is as opposed to if I had just gone with my original instincts. So,
Absolutely.
life coaching is really helpful. It helped me lose weight. Um, and
Mm-hmm.
it wasn't because I got diets or anything, it was this mindset piece.
Yeah.
Are there any
Yeah.
situations where life coaching's not appropriate?
Oh, absolutely. And I know for myself if I'm in a conversation or connection with somebody and it's not my realm of expertise, I share that and I let them know of other possibilities that they can explore specifically for that purpose. I've
Right.
done that. I've done that with my
Yeah.
clients. Here's my lane. What you're talking about is relationship coaching. That's not my field.
Right.
I
Yeah.
work with you in the relationship with yourself, right? Yeah.
And so some of the tools that you use, you teach people, for example, to set healthy boundaries, loving
Mhm.
boundaries,
Yeah.
how to nurture yourself. Let's talk about some of these tools because you have some great ones that you have personally developed. Can we talk about that gorgeous journal that you have?
My journal. I love my journal. I love the journal. It's not mine. I created it for the purpose of exactly what I noticed women doing, needing some form of structure, but within that structure, openness. So
Right.
it's a polarity, right? And so what it does, I've had people message me saying, "Oh, this isn't what I thought it was. I thought you were going to tell me go do this, go do this, go do this, go do this." That's not going to land for you because what you need at this point in time is different than what that other person needs and what I need and what you need. And so the structure gives you an opportunity to really do some good, deep reflection on where you're spending your time and where you're missing the boat for you, by you, because of you.
Yeah. And I'm such a big fan of journaling. We're all intelligent women and we try to hold our thoughts or ideas in our heads. And I know we're super smart and maybe that's managed in the past, but I find as I get older, my brain doesn't retain focus quite as easily. So there's a
Hmm.
lot of general anxiety a lot of days because I know I never remember that before when I was younger, but there vague feelings of anxiety that I'm missing something all the time or that I've got my finger in the dike. Does that make any sense? Trying to
Yes.
hold back everything. So, can you tell us, Denise, why you feel journaling is so powerful? I know I use it 3 times a day now.
what I find it does,
Mm-hmm.
it takes the thought and it puts it out there so you can actually reflect instead of hold it.
Mm-hmm.
When we hold our own thoughts, we don't expand. We don't get to see from a variety of sides. We see it from our lane. We don't see the forest for the trees. And when we put it out on paper, it's great to do that and step away. It does two things. It allows you to release. Okay, I've dealt with it. I've put it out there. The interesting part that I do find, what you were mentioning, the to dos and what have I missed and the finger in the dike, it's been proven in science. And I know that Mel Robbins also has a journal, or I think it's probably still in circulation. But she knows and shared that when you put it out there, the increased opportunity of it happening goes up. So when you put it into, here's what I'm looking at for today, I do a week and then I bring it down into the day. Here's what I'm going to do. And from that list of things to do, what in that list is for me? What benefit am I getting back from it? So it's more than just a to do. It's for you to also reflect on, okay, so how is this going to benefit me directly? And so make sure that we put ourselves into our list because usually we're the third page and the third page doesn't even come. It just, it's always buried. It's like, I'll get to that. 3 years later, I'll get to that.
And that's
Yeah.
one of the reasons we get here at midlife is we're always on the third page. What my girlfriend says when you're doing a Google search, being on the third page is where websites go to die.
Right?
Now, you call the journal for you, by you, because of you. And
Yeah.
I want to talk more about what's actually in the journal. But one thing occurred to me as we were just sharing, and you were saying about make sure that whatever you've got planned for today has something to do for you. And I know what I have struggled with over the years is feeling selfish or like I should be of service to others. I shouldn't be ego on myself.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
how can we talk to women and encourage them to practice this self-nurturing and this self-guidance without feeling like they're robbing their families or their communities of everything that people want from them? That's a big
It's,
question.
you know what? It's a really good question because just as you're asking it, it's hit me differently this time. I've had
Oh,
that question multiple times. So thank you for your question. What I think is happening is the egocentrism is coming as a result of it being an outside thing instead of being truly an inside thing. So if your for you, by you, because of you is still external, it's going to move into the egocentric zone,
right.
right? When it really, truly, truly is something that your heart and soul desires, the shift will happen. And it will no longer be egocentric. It will be embodiment.
Right. Which is talking my language. So if your longings are to do with external circumstances, that's where you run into the risk of moving into egocentric territory. But when your longings or your desires are for your own well-being or your own self-development internally,
Yes.
you're working. Maybe in yoga we would talk about the dharma, the reason why you're here, your spiritual job.
It's interesting you say that. Do you ever notice that women who are taking your classes and in your studio, do you see how they enter? Do you feel their energy as they're entering? Like, I should be at home cooking supper, even though I left something. So, is it really a practice that they are truly stepping into the way that they should, if they are sovereign, right? They should not even they walk through your doors and I'm in my place.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I hope many of my students
Yeah.
over the years have felt that way, but I know what you
Yeah.
mean. There's sometimes a lot of work to get yourself to an in-person yoga class.
Yeah.
Tell me more about what's in the journal. It's in sections.
So I'm just going to grab it right here because, of
Okay.
course, I have it.
Good.
There it is there for those who are able to see and are able to
Yeah,
see it.
this is
But
on YouTube and on my website.
yeah,
So we will have people
yeah,
who will be able to see it in person. Yeah.
perfect. So what I have is a weekly. So I start with a weekly, and I just want people to do a brain dump, what I used to call in education. Don't pull in any stops, don't judge, don't just write down what values you want to focus on for the week. And that in itself, some people go, values? Ooh, what are my values? Bingo,
Yeah.
right? And it might change over time. That's brilliant because that's showing growth. That's showing, oh, okay, when I started, and that's a nice thing about having a journal in hard copy, it doesn't get lost in the computer. You can go back to it and reference and see your growth, witness it, right?
Right.
So it's got this section about the values, and then who can support me this week? It could be your dog. It can be anything. This is yours, right? So you're starting to think about here's me as the center. Who can support me for my growth, right? Which is something how many of us don't do, right? We don't
Right.
think about it's like, no, I've this is for me, I'm going to do it, but other people want to support us. Who can support you in that journey, right? If you
Hmm.
have a mantra or a saying that you love, you can write it down there too. And then one thing you're going to do for yourself.
Super important. Yeah.
Yeah, just one. And then there's another page just full of thoughts and ideas, brain dump, just whatever's coming up for you. The good, the
Hmm.
bad, the ugly, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Get it out. The more it stays in here, it circles. And if it's not a positive thought, which is more frequent than not, it's going to blow. It's going to keep growing. It just keeps that incubation going, right?
Yeah. And a
And
lot of
then,
people are, oh, sorry, Denise, go
no,
ahead.
go ahead. No,
I was
go
going to
ahead.
say a lot of people don't like journaling because some negative stuff comes out and they don't like to think of themselves as a negative person. They always want to think positive. Can you speak to that?
Absolutely, because what you're doing is playing a game with yourself that you're not going to win.
Hmm.
Because the thoughts come, and if we bury them, they're just going to grow. So bring the thoughts out and then ask yourself the question, hmm, where's that coming from? Why is that happening? You
So bring
can,
curiosity to it.
yeah, totally, 100%.
Now you're talking my language because that's all part of mindfulness.
Hmm.
And I created an online program called the She Mindfulness Program. And that's what I really try to encourage people to do is um, to embrace the whole of being human. And that will include maybe even half the time not feeling really comfortable and not being really proud of what you're thinking. But that's okay. That's not broken. That's being
So,
human.
exactly. If we didn't have the opposites, we wouldn't grow.
Yeah, you can't have the light without the dark. Can't have the
Exactly.
sunshine without the moonshine.
Right? Exactly. Black and
Um,
white. It exists. It coexists, and
yeah.
it's fine. Where it becomes too much is that everything changes, not just the thoughts, but your day-to-day activities. And that's when you're like, time to get some help. No problem. Right?
Because the thoughts, whatever the results that you see in your life, what's happening around you started with a thought.
Totally.
Yeah. Now
Yeah.
I don't want to take up too much more of your time,
Yeah.
Denise, but I know I want to make sure people know that you do offer a free consult. So people could, see if you might be a fit and talk about the power of life coaching in their own lives, right?
Right. Yeah. Yeah. You can find me anywhere pretty much. I'm on Instagram and Facebook and TikTok and LinkedIn. So just send me a direct message. I have a link available. We can connect. I've got I've done all kinds of programs, and right now I'm so honored and excited that I've shaved it down to one program that I am talking about and going to be opening up the doors very soon. So that's called the Me Academy. Yeah.
The Me Academy.
Yeah.
And so the doors are opening on that very soon. So be good
Yes.
time for people to
Yep.
check out the website and get that.
Absolutely.
And I want
Ask
to talk
me.
briefly about your podcast too. That's how we
Yes.
you.
I love having my podcast opening up more and more doors. It's called Thrive After 45. And it's very similar to what we're doing now, where I have incredible guests coming on all the time. We drop a weekly episode, and you can just follow, subscribe, share. Every episode is totally different based on my guests' foci, and we help women in particular thrive after 45 because, like I said before, too many people are dimming their own light, and it's in there, and it's time to change that now.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Buried under all those years of service to our communities, to our families, to always being willing to take that extra overtime or that extra file at work
Right?
because so and so's mother's undergoing cancer treatment. So, you know, it's really hard to reprioritize, but in midlife, sometimes it's absolutely essential. We just don't have the energy that we used to. And we get a sense that maybe time isn't infinite.
Yeah.
You took up running. Who knew you had that in you?
I I didn't, and I still am flabbergasted by it. I'm like, really? So I did a 10, a half, and a 5, and I'm doing another 5 this year with my grandson. Yeah,
That's an
so
amazing
exciting.
story. And see,
Yeah.
that's what we want for our clients, right, Denise? We want them to blow their own minds with what is
Yes.
possible rather than just pushing the repeat on all the stress you've been dealing with for decades.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There is another way.
Yeah. And you
Yeah.
have some tools and I have some tools. So let's
Yeah.
get out there and shout from the rooftops. Hey, girlfriends, let's make this happen. Who knows what their marathon's going to be?
Right?
Who knows?
Bingo.
You know? But everyone's
Exactly.
got that in them. And don't let your life just expire.
Yeah. I say midlife is the ignition. It's
Yeah.
not the end. Yeah.
Yeah.
100%.
Well, I have loved our chat. I thank you so much, Denise, for coming on. And I am coming out to visit you. You're not that far away. I'm in
I
Niagara, so you're only 2.5 hours away.
know. Yes, I love it.
I don't know if we're going to go running, though, girlfriend.
No,
So
that's okay.
we could go
No
walking.
apologies. You know what? No apologies here.
Okay. Thank you so much. Namaste.
Namaste.
If you enjoy listening to this podcast, you'll really want to come to my live Q&A. This time, we do them every month. I'm going to be telling you what I do in the wee hours to get back to sleep. So if you're a midlife woman struggling with sleep, please register. October 22nd, 7 p.m. I'll put the link in the show notes. See you soon.